well, I'll just start recording it now just to be, that's right.
I can do that from my end. How's that?
I'm recording it here now.
Okay, great.
So I'm sorry, the recording started just now, and I just introduced Beth Lefevre, one of my favorite persons on this earth. And now I think better get started with you, so people, they don't want to hear me, they want to hear you say something interesting. So just take it on, Beth.
All right. Well, thank you for that absolutely beautiful introduction. Yes, Susanne and I have met quite a few times through the Passion Test for Business. She's an amazing entrepreneur. I do have to say, one of the things I love about Miss Susanne is that she does not give up. You know, what I love about her, and I just want to say this, is you keep moving forward. You know, like all of us have challenges, and I love that you are like, how do I get past this challenge? Like, how do I do this, right? And that is so much, it encompasses who you are. So I think it's really amazing. One of the things that Susanne did is she gave us some early recollections. We're actually going to do an exercise about moving past challenges. And I worked on it this morning. And what's so beautiful is you already have made a shift based on the information you got on your own doing the early recollection. So it's an exciting process, and I can't wait to share it with you. Very cool. So I just want to let you know that I was not always here. In 1985, I was in a really hard relationship. I had 3 young children. My life did not look at all like I thought it should look. And I did a training way back then. It was called the S training. Now it's Forum. It has a lot of different names. It has transferred. But it was the first time in my life that I realized I was the author of my life. It kind of hit me smack in the face. And I had a 3-day training, very, very intense, where I probably cried morning, afternoon, and night, because I realized the life I currently had was not the life of my dreams, and yet I was the creator. And it was the first time in my life that I realized I was the creator, and it kind of shook me, right? Over the next 10 years, I got everything I could. I went back, I did it, I followed up, I did every training I knew that I could do to shift my limiting beliefs about my life. And it brought me in 1995 to a group called Global Relationship Centers. It was a real turning point in my life. And what my mentor, Bill Riedler, who is no longer with us, he's always with me, but not in physical human form. And he brought me the information from Alfred Adler. Now, Adler was a psychologist in the time of Freud. About Adler was, he said, and it really resonated with me. So I studied with Bill Riedler for over probably 10 years until he passed away, right? So I studied with him pretty much nonstop. I was flying out to Austin, Texas. I became one of their master trainers, and then I got to train trainers to do that. So extensively, Alfred Adler's philosophy really helped me own life and thousands of other people's lives. Since that time, I've had the absolute privilege to work with really thousands of people. Their lives have changed, and the best benefit is my life has changed. And so I want to share with you the process that is Alfred Adler's. It was handed down to Rudolf Dreikurs, and then Dreikurs, who was the contact with Bill Riedler. So he comes directly in lineage. Alfred Adler, Rudolf Dreikurs, Bill Riedler passed it on to me, and I made a promise to Bill before he passed on that I would continue this work because it is so profound. It is so easy to do. The hard part is putting it into practice. So I want to explain first. I'm going to share my screen and explain first what Adler called the cycle of recreation. So I'm hoping, Susanne, you can see that screen, right? Great. Okay. So I want to share with you this cycle of recreation. Here's what happens, and then I'll give you an example. And then, like I said, our wonderful Susanne sent me some so that we can do real time, and maybe she can have some cool insights. We'll see what happens. An event occurs, and that's right here. Now, we have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of events that occur every day. From the time Susanne got up to probably had over 1,000 events, from breakfast to coffee to getting on the train, to getting ready, to getting her computer going, right? All of these events have occurred. Now, most of them, no significance whatsoever, right? They don't matter. They're events that happen that are not significant. We don't base our life on them, right? When there is an event with strong emotions, and this is the really important part, happy emotions, sad emotions, scary emotions, it doesn't matter. But when strong emotions occur, there's a belief. Now, most of our beliefs, and this is a little bit for age of 8. So our world view has a possibility that before the age of 8, we made some decisions that might not have been true about the world. Straight possibility, right? That's what happens. And before I go any further, I'm actually going to share something that happened with me, right? So there's an experience. I was about 7 years old, and I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur. My family was poor. We did not have money. And my dad was working all the time. My mom was a homemaker. There were 4 children in our family. And I just decided it wasn't okay with me that I couldn't have the things that other kids had in the neighborhood. So I was about 7 years old, and I decided I was going to start selling Christmas cards. And so I went out, and I had little pigtails, my little blonde hair, and I was from a town of 250 people, incredibly safe. So a 7-year-old could walk around. We didn't even have paved roads, right? They were dirt roads. And I would go neighbor to neighbor in my neighborhood, and I said, would you like to buy some Christmas cards? Right? And so I was all cute, and I got a lot of yeses. And, at that time, a box of Christmas cards was probably $1.50 or something. I don't know how much it was. So my margin of profit was probably 50 cents, but I loved connecting, right? So I did that. And the decision I made, because it was such a positive experience, is this is great. I love making money. It's fun. People are kind. All these good things happened. And so my belief was, if you come back to, and by the way, we separate our beliefs. Men are wonderful. Women are consumers. I am happy. I'm powerful. I'm rich. I'm connecting. Like, money is fun. It's easy. This is great. Life is amazing. It's fun. It's connections. It's supply and demand. Therefore, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do this because not only do I get money, but I get connection. I get to feel valuable. All right. So I'm going to keep going. So this was my cycle of recreation, and it was wonderful. Now, and by the way, I did this a few years. So when I was about 9, I got a little bit cocky, and I said, hey, if I could do this in October, November, and then deliver in December, I'm really excited. I am going to start. And I got a little cocky, and I started a little bit later, right? So a couple years plan. Well, I started my sales in November. Well, guess what happened? I still got all my sales. People were loving me, but the Christmas cards, because I put the order in too late, didn't come until after Christmas. Now, do you see the dilemma that occurred? I put my money out, right? The Christmas cards didn't come until December 28th. Now I have to deliver those Christmas cards. Well, what do you think I was met with? I was not met with, and people said, no, I can't. And by the way, they were they were monogrammed. They had the people's names on them. I sent them out. It said, love the family, XYZ Christmas, 19, whatever year it was, 64 or something. And so they couldn't even use them next year. So men are disappointed. Women are no longer consumers. I'm a failure, right? I felt horrible. Now I lost all this money. A few people bought them out of pity, I'm sure, right? But I felt like a failure. Money is a disaster. It's hard. It's painful. Life is a disappointment. Therefore, I must not take risks. I'm not going to. The next year, I said, okay, I'm going to go out in July. Now, I had I'm a failure, right? This isn't going to work. It actually got replaced because that feeling of wonderful feelings were great. This was so profound. It was such a disappointment to me that the next year I said, okay, I'll start in July. Well, people don't buy Christmas in July. They were, I was a little bit older. I wasn't that cute little pigtail girl. I was probably, 10 now. I had 11. I was a year of disaster. I'm knocking on doors, believing people were not going to buy cards. So guess what happened? They didn't. My expectation, your expectation, always true, and we create the future experiences of the initial event, right? So then what happened was, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not making money. It's not good. I don't want to be poor. And my belief system was, I started running from, I don't want to be poor, which attracted poor. So just to fast forward, with this time, the pattern repeats countless times, all right? The belief has become unconscious, and I didn't even know it was there. It only leaves us to react. We no longer even know why or where. I was not aware of this unconscious belief until I started doing my personal growth work. I actually went in and said, oh my gosh, let's see what's going on. I dissected these beliefs and I could discover it. We start expecting the world and its players to act a certain way, and so they do. And what happens is the world doesn't act a certain way. We can only see what we believe. So we don't take action on the whole 360 degrees of the world. We take action on our little view, right? So we don't see all the other stuff that happens, even though it might. Okay, our expectations have us looking for supporting that belief. And then I want to just stop by saying, we actually become comfortable with this belief. We start saying, well, that's the way the world is. You can't make it only come from love. Still there? Stop screen. Things only come from love. And so I believe in this universe that says if anything happened to us, it was for our own good. So let's say there might have been an experience where you had a parent and they were abusive, right? And let's say your dad comes home, he had been drinking, and you knew, you know what, I need to get, men are not safe. Now, that is a belief that probably kept you alive, right? Those beliefs that we had, they're not bad beliefs. They're just beliefs that served their purpose, and sometimes they don't serve us anymore. So if you had a belief that says, I need to be afraid of men, I need to be wary, I need to be careful, that's a perfectly great belief if you have an abusive parent. Okay? So just know that some of these beliefs saved our butts. They kept us alive. They kept us in the world. Now, I'm ready to start a relationship, and I need to be afraid of men. Well, of course not. My belief says men are dangerous. I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to attract dangerous men. All right. I'm going to attract dangerous men, or I am going to do the absolute opposite. Right. Sometimes, even without knowing it, we defy the odds by saying, oh, I'm going to choose somebody who is, excuse my expression, a milquetoast, right? Somebody who has no emotion. They're not dangerous. I'm going to choose somebody that's incredibly safe, and realize that my relationship is horrible. That's not the kind of person for me. That's not the one that will feed me, right? So sometimes we do the exact opposite. So that's how the cycle works, okay? And all of us have, I point back here because this is our brainstem. The brainstem is back here, and it's the part of our body that its sole function is to keep us alive. And so many of these beliefs are in place, and they're actually in our little brainstem. So we don't know when these things happen. We have no clue. We just react. We become a reaction machine. And then we look at our lives and say, well, wait a minute, this isn't the thing I was working on. All right. So I'm going to, can I share, Susanne, the memories that you sent me?
Yes, you can share the memories I sent you. I sent them for us to work on, and I just to let people know, I worked on this process before, and it's extremely.
She might be going.
Yeah, I'm going. Are you there?
And so she's faster than me. Okay, we're good. And so she's out running, jogging, and I said, hey, every time you jog, you just go, and she would run up ahead and come back and run because she does twice as fast as I do. But I was out there doing my thing, right? I was trying to make it work. And I'm out there, and I see her go across the street and go around the thing, and finally I meet up with her, don't say anything. And so off we go. So the next day we're out jogging, and she's doing her up and back and forth. And in the almost very same spot, I see her go across the street and go down a different alley. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. She did that 2 days in a row. And there's the reason it kind of caught my mind was there was a beautiful row of trees. And I thought how beautiful it would be. It was springtime in Minnesota to go down that little row of trees. And so when we got back and she came up, I said, hey, Lisa, how come you went across the street? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, 2 days in a row, you right here. I look at these trees. Let's go down there. And she goes, no, I don't want to go down there. And I said, how come? She goes, I don't know. It just doesn't look safe. And now, no, she didn't have a clue, right? So we go out, and I said, come with me. Don't go ahead. I want to go down this row of trees. And she's looking at me, right? And she actually, her eyes are open, and she's scared to death. And so we go down this path, and all of a sudden, way out in the distance, there's a dog barking. And this dog is barking, and she goes, oh my God, there's a dog. And I went, Lisa, it's behind a fence, so we're walking. And she said, that's probably why I crossed the street. I hate dogs, right? So as we get closer, there's this little tiny dog, little tiny dog behind the screen, but was barking. So when we go past there, she goes, I don't want to go past there. And I said, it's a little dog. Well, we start talking, and she has a memory that was at about 4. She was out. She got attacked by a dog. She still has, up on her right thigh, she still has dog bite marks, right? Now, here, and so we worked through it, and I said, it's a little dog, and you're safe, and we got past it. All right? Now, the reason I'm even telling you this story is she had no clue there was a dog. her subconscious heard the bark of a dog before her conscious did and said there was danger down there. So what I want you to know is these subconscious beliefs, we react before we even have conscious awareness. We don't know what we're reacting to. So how do you get past it? And this is the part I know you've been waiting for, okay? So how do you get past it? Because you say, hey, I don't want these things holding me back. So I have the first step is a little saying my dear mentor Bill Riedler taught me is intention equals results. So write down on your paper, intention equals results. Okay? Now, that seems not true, but if you want to find out what your true intentions are, and I'm going to call the subconscious ones, the ones that are running you, you have to look at the results you're creating. So let's say you don't want to have fear about dogs, but you're scared to death about dogs. All right? You have to look at, oh my gosh, so there's some fear running me about dogs. What is my intention? Now, my stated intention is I don't want to have fear. That's a stated intention. But the results are I have fear. So you want to back up and say, what is the fear getting me? You have to go back to, oh, the fear right now is keeping me safe in my mind. I also don't have to take risks. If I don't have to take risks, I don't fail. Right? So you really want to go deep, deep, deep into what are the results I'm getting. All right? So I am going to come back to you always want, and even if the results are not favorable, you have to say, what is it getting me? So in my not making money, I'm going to use that one, right? So I actually stopped selling Christmas cards. July was the last year I just said, I'm not going to do this. And intentions equal results. Now, my results were I didn't have very much money, right? In high school, I didn't make my own clothes or a lot of things I did. And I became an entrepreneur because I wanted to. Zanny, darling, she's going to come back in just a moment.
I'm back
I'm
again.
Quick get her.
I'm back.
Hey, my friend.
Yes.
Good. If you can hear me, can I share two of the recollections you sent me? Okay, great. I wanted your permission before I shared them. So what you do is you look at, and we call them early recollections, something that happened to you. Remember, I had my selling the Christmas cards. I had a few of those, and I had some positive, and I call them negatives. And then Susanne had some great positive ones. Let those run. Let those run on their own. Let them be subconscious. She has a great input because she has a great output on life because she's got some recollections that were beautiful. We're not going to use them. I'm going to use the ones that might be in her way. So here we go. I'm going to bring them up on the screen, and I'm going to do one at a time. So let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. So here's an early recollection. She was age 7. You always want to know the age because anything after 8 is a repeat. You've already done that cycle to repeat. So this one is early, all right? So here she is bicycling. She's bicycling on my way to school with some friends. Have an accident where I'm thrown off in the middle of the forest. My front tooth was hurt, but still marked. I remember the hurt and the terror that no grown-ups are there to help me. So the first thing you do is it has to be specific. Notice how specific. She didn't say one day I was bicycling. She said, I am bicycling on my way to school with my friend. Very specific. So you want a specific memory. And then I'm going to say, Susanne, if you can, describe, kind of put yourself in that moment and describe how it was for you.
Yes, it was a really nice spring day. The forest was really beautiful. We were having a lot of fun with the friends. And then suddenly, out of the blue, something happened with my tire on the deck, and I was thrown off the bicycle as a sudden. It was really a shock, and I landed, and I really hurt myself several places, but mostly I actually took something off my teeth, and I was crying, and I was alone, and there was this friend there, and I actually don't remember exactly what happened, but I think one of the friends went back somehow to find my father or mother. I think my father came to help me actually. But in the meantime, I was just there and I didn't know what to do, and I was very desperate about how am I going to handle this. I can't figure out.
All right, so I want you to see yourself right there in the forest, thrown off, your tooth is hurting, and fill in these. Men are?
Not there.
Women are?
Not there.
I am?
Alone.
Anything else?
And desperate. And hurting.
Life is?
Hard. No fun.
What else?
No fun. Life is I was just gonna say cheating me, because I was just having so much fun, and then I was there. Life is a disaster.
You're in fun, painful?
Yeah. Painful, yeah.
All right, so here's the important one. That's okay. So therefore, if men are not there, women are not. If women are not there, I'm alone, desperate, and hurting. Life is hard, no fun, and painful. Therefore, I must. How must you behave in the world in that moment?
I must. What I'm getting to you is actually hide. I have to take care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. All right.
Or be careful.
So,
be careful actually is a good one too.
Oh yeah. Take care of myself. I must be careful. Very good. All right. So this is one memory. All right. You get a little bit of information, and sometimes we say, is there any place in your life that this cycle might still be happening?
That's a question for me. Yes, it is still
happening. It's still happening, right? Because she didn't have awareness. This is the first time she's actually looking at this recollection. Now, the next one you're going to love, okay? So we're going to bring up the next one, and you want to do at least 2. Sometimes I do 4. I do 8 when I'm working with a client, because you get very, very detailed, all right? So early recollection number 2. Now she's about 8 or 9, so she's a little bit older. I'm crawling in the trees and having so much fun until my father comes and tells me I have to get down because it's dangerous. Now talk about this one.
Yeah, and again, it's going from having a lot of fun and being really proud that I'm able to climb this tree, and I feel really forceful and adventurous, and I'm competing with the other kids, and it's really great. But then suddenly my father appears, and as soon as he begins to talk about how it's dangerous, I'm looking down and I say, oh my God, I'm up really tall. How am I going to get down from here? And what is going to happen? And I could fall, and I could really, really hurt myself by falling down. So it
men are fill in the blank. Men are.
Yeah. What are they? They are pulling me out of trees. Men are. Yeah, in some way he is taking care of. Yeah, Milner, he's actually taking care of me.
Yeah.
But he's also limiting my movements.
Very good. They might not be there.
Yeah, they might not be there. They're not there to begin with. Yeah, women are not there.
Okay, I am. Now look at all the parts of I am.
I'm both adventurous and strong, and I'm having fun. But then, on the other hand, I'm not able to take care of myself.
Having fun. Not careful of self. All right, great. And I know I spelled adventurous wrong, but adventure house.
Yeah, well, you're the English. We will forgive you.
Okay, ready? So I'm adventurous, having fun, and then not careful of self. Okay, life
and dangerous also. Life is dangerous. Yeah.
Okay, life is dangerous. And what else? Anything else?
I'm not. Life is something I cannot deal with, in a way. My father needs to come and rescue me.
Ooh, good one. All right, excuse my misspelling. Therefore, I must. What is the result?
Not climb trees. I must not take too many risks.
Yeah, that's the one. All right. At a time where I always do a little bit of work. So here where it says, I did the recollection, and the work I did on my own was men are not there, right? Very similar. Women are not there. I am scared. I'm hurting. I am not taken care of, and I'm helpless, right? So there was this feeling of helplessness, very similar to hers. Life is hard, exactly, painful, and not supported, right? Very similar again to hers. Therefore, I must, and I said, rely on myself. And in this one, I said, my friends are not useful. So there's a place in there because you were with your friends. See, you were never alone. You were with your friends, but there was a belief that said, my friends can't help me the same way grown-ups have. And maybe put a damper on it. I'm going to say this again because this piece was meant for you and all of a sudden you left. Did you hear the part about not having fun? Oh, I'll come back. For a life is dangerous. I had the exact same thing, right? Therefore, I must not take risks. That's exactly what she said. And this is another one. I better not go too high. I better not aim too high because this is climbing a tree. So whenever Susanne is aiming for something higher, there's going to be red lights that are saying, bing, 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 bing. Don't go too high. So the one thing I said, Susanne, I'm gonna stop sharing that I thought was really valuable. Both times, so now you look at both beliefs and say, hey, what might be getting in the way? What is here, right? So now, hey, when I'm having a lot of fun, when Susanne now is having a blast, there's a little voice back here that says, don't have too much fun. You might fall. It might be dangerous. Put the brakes on, slow down, look at the whole situation, right? All these things are going to go off in her mind because she had two recollections where she's having a great time and all of a sudden the world is dangerous, okay? So number one is awareness. Remember when I had the awareness that said, I want to stop being poor, I went, oh my gosh, I've been focusing on the wrong thing. So number one, awareness. Susanne just got some awareness. Oh my gosh, maybe all of a sudden I put the damper on when I'm having a blast, when it feels like I'm having so much fun, the world is out of control. There's a little thing back here that says, slow down, put your feet back on the ground, get out of that tree. Don't go too high. Who do you think you are? Okay. So now the awareness is, oh, that's where this came from. It came from an experience that maybe kept me safe as a child, but no longer serves me as an adult. So now what do we do, right? So you have to do the work of the awareness. You can't jump straight to what do I do to fix it? If you don't have the awareness of where it came from, it probably is going to be just a mind thing. By the way, the mind thing I call are affirmations. These affirmations alone will never work. So if Susanne starts saying, I can take risks, I can take risks, I can take risks, I'm safe, and she repeats it 25 times a day looking in the mirror, that will not work, right? What you have to do is reframe a belief, or at least come up with physical evidence where it's true. So once you have the awareness, oh my gosh, I thought my intention is to go as high as I can, support as many people as I can. That's what I believe my intention is. The results are, I'm not climbing as high as I thought I wanted to climb, right? So you look at the results and then say, okay, great. So I now see why I stopped climbing higher. Let's see now, what is it that I really want to create? I don't want to play it safe, right? I do want to climb higher, because what Susanne is about, I know, is supporting, helping artists climb higher, right? I know that about her. And so if she wants artists to climb higher, right, guess who has to climb higher? She has to do it first, okay? And the reason the stop was put on her we're going to have a reframe. All right. So the reframe goes like this. All right, my darling. This belief about the first one, let's find out here your how that she's stuck again. All right. So I am going to look at this belief and I'm going to make some deductions. Let's see. Susanne, if you hear me, you can come back on. Otherwise, I'm going to pretend that I know how it served you. Let's go to this one.
I'm here.
So yeah, good. How is this a good one? How does this serve you? What did you discover along the way?
From doing this work on it. That's what you mean.
So your bicycle, you fell down, but somehow you got back up. So what did you discover? What was the best thing that happened because of this recollection?
Yeah, you mean when I'm 7 or now?
Well, now, as a result of it, it happened, and your life has changed because of it. But there's some bad stuff that happened. There's some places that you had limiting beliefs. But now, after you see the limiting beliefs, let's look at how it actually served you.
Oh, back when I was 7, it served me to, I was actually did take care of myself. I was taken care of somehow. I'm here.
Yeah, you are amazing at taking care of yourself in every way, shape, or form. Not only do you take care of yourself, you take care of many others.
Mm.
Why do you think you take care of others? Because you had a moment of not being taken care of and it hurt.
Mm.
And so you probably do everything you can to help others.
Yeah, because I don't want anybody else to be in that situation. That's true.
Very cool. You've also discovered, I am, if you fill out the word I am, what are you today?
Today, I'm not alone. I'm full
You're
of...
self-reliant.
I'm self-reliant, and I'm happy, and I'm able to take care of other people, and I am in a loving connection with a lot of people.
So as a result of this, one of the results that happened is you became incredibly self-reliant, incredibly powerful. You are now past, you're happy, and you're able not only to care for yourself, but others, right? Life is...
I'm just going to say life is continuing. Life is also being taken care of.
Life is taken care of. We were talking about that on the way here. Hey, I'm on a train. What's going to happen? Well, it'll be taken care of. We'll make it work.
Yeah, super.
There was a very strong belief based on, see, these are the good things, but what happens is we only focus on the bad stuff. Therefore, what will you continue to do? And by the way, here you do not use the word must. You use the way when you're going to do a reframe, you use the word will, because now you are creating the future you do want. So therefore, I will
not hide. Therefore, I will be out. Therefore, I will shine.
Yeah, I love the way, by the way, I just have to point out what she did, and she's aware of it, right? The first thing she said is, I won't hide, which is like running from being poor, right? She knows, oh, I can't have negative. So I will be seen. I will get out there, by the way, which she has, right? I will have fun.
And I will take care of myself.
I will continue, because you already have. So that's one that you know, right? I will take care. That was one that was early on. One other one. Will you let others support you?
Sure.
Yeah, because that friend or whoever, I will let others support me. See, what we know is Susanne's great at taking care of herself. She might not be as good at receiving support from others, because her whole life she's been taking care of herself. Very good. All right, next one. We got a couple more minutes. I want to do this. Yay, it's working. All right. So this one, crawling in trees, having so much fun. How did that serve you? And as a result, what are you doing different now?
It served me to be able to actually climb those trees, to this recollection.
And by the way, this has some of the positives. Susanne's on here, and she was in the tree. So men are caring. Yep. They're loving, right? They're suggesting. Can you imagine if maybe she had said, you know what, I'm going to keep going. I trust so I'm going to keep going. So she might have said, I'm climbing. I will take powerful risks because I trust myself. Did you hear that one?
Yes.
All right, very good. So now what do we do with all this information? So I'm going to stop sharing. And I will send this to Susanne later because I wrote these down because I think they're powerful. All right. So now this sounds like an affirmation, right? That I am safe. I can climb as high as I feel safe enough to climb. I am going to take powerful risks that serve me because I trust myself. All right. Now, those are only affirmations unless you start seeing yourself doing them. So every time there's a little thing that says, danger, danger, you're having too much fun, she's going to say, stop. Let me see if this is really true. My new belief is I climb as high as I want. I can take powerful risks because I trust myself. So when the little light goes off, when the red bells, when back here says, wait a minute, all you do is say, that's an old belief. I know that's an old belief. So now I'm just going to come back and say, my new belief is men are caring, they're loving, they suggest to me, right? My new belief is I am self-reliant and powerful. Now, then you have to look out into the world and say, where is that emotionally true? Remember, what we're moved by are our emotions. Our subconscious is actually reaction, and it reacts from emotions. And so in order to do a reframe, what you must do is collect emotional evidence out in the world using your new belief. So if she had a new belief chart, it would say men are caring, loving, and supportive, right? Women are, sometimes they're not there. We would probably shift that. I bet the friend that helped her was probably female. So I would say, ooh, they are there. Women are supporting me, right? So then you look and see, where is that true? Well, not only are they supporting me, my friends support me. I had Janet last month and Beth this month. Wow, 2 powerful women are supporting me. So that would shift that belief, right? I am self-reliant. Well, where is that true? Man, this crazy thing happened. I had Beth scheduled for 2 months. All of a sudden, I have a new appointment. I got to take a new risk. Now I'm going to be on this train. How do I make it work? So instead of saying we can't make it work, we can't take these risks, I don't even know if on the train it'll work, she said, hey, we will make it work. Her self-reliance actually kicked in. That's why I know that Charity made the shift, right? Life is fun. It's about connecting. Man, we just connected all these people, right? It's fun. She's on the train. I'm at home, by the way. I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast. This is what I love to do, right? Therefore, I will be seen. The woman's out there, right? I will have fun. I will take care. I will support others, right? How cool is that? So you always want to look in real time. And I'm going to give you one more example. So I made a really beautiful shift from the place that men are not there for me, they're not loving, right? To this beautiful shift of they're always there for me. Men are loving, they're supportive, right? I have my belief sheet up here. It's very cool. But when I made that shift, I had to look for physical evidence where that was true. And in the beginning, because my relationship was rocky, I didn't have physical evidence. So I started looking outside of my home. And I would see a man pick up a baby and I'd go, oh, men are loving, right? I would be at the grocery store and somebody would open the door for me. It was a guy. And I'd say, oh, men are, look how beautiful they are, right? I started bicycling again and I start putting the brakes on and people stop for me and they let me go across. I mean, incredibly kind, right? Men are loving, kind, compassionate. And so first I did that outside of my home. And then when I felt pretty secure, I had gathered enough physical and emotional evidence, I brought it home. And all of a sudden, this viewpoint of men are gathered a few months of men are loving, men are kind, they're supportive. Then, how has it interacted with your life? What are you doing that is, in the way? And then the third thing is look at how you want it to be, right? What are the good things you got out of that memory? By the way, if you can't come up with memories, be poor, I receive money. I want to be contribution and receive money value, right? And I started seeing how that happened. I started collecting physical evidence. You must collect emotional physical evidence, or it's an affirmation and it doesn't work. Affirmations alone don't work. And always look outside of yourself. If you can't see it internally yet in your own belief share, you're the author of your life and you have these new beliefs. You then write a vision. My husband brings me flowers. By the way, he brings me prosciutto because I'm a food lovey, and so he's always bringing me food gifts, right? But it's the way that he shows love. I actually wrote that script out. He brings me little presents to show how much he loves me. So, and then when those things happen, you know that you have shifted your belief. If anybody wants to, I know I did this very, very quickly. I'm just going to put my email down here.
I think
say, Susanne, Master Life.
Beth, what I would love to do is I will send out an email to everybody who has been here. And I will also post on the Facebook your email and the website, and maybe also if you send me the page that you showed, maybe we can, the one about the cycle, maybe we can share that with people.
Oh, terrific! I'd love to. Yep, I can give that out.
So I will send that out to people after this, as soon as I have landed from my train trip here. And I just want to say
Danny,
that
I have a question. Can I, it's wrong, that first one's wrong. Can I make a quick offer to anybody on?
Yes, of course you can.
On the call?
Yes, of course you can. Yes, do that.
Ooh, I hope she's saying, I normally do 4 sessions of really getting through beliefs. If something's stopping you, I do 4 sessions for $600. And if you want, because you're on this call, anybody that's on the call, if they contact me, say you're on Susanne's call, I will do 4 sessions for $400. So I just want to put that out to you. If you choose to do that, great. If not, use this for yourself and somebody else. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and I would just say take the chance of getting to work with Beth, because it's gonna really change your life to work with her, and I hope that I have enjoyed so much having you here, and I'm so appreciative that you actually that you took it on so bravely that I was sitting on the train, and that you just continued with me going out of there all the time. So I really appreciate that. You're just a sport, you really just go ahead for it. I hope I will be able to maybe invite you back for.
Well, I have a belief that life is good and life is.
Yeah, and we're just gonna have fun and love while we live there, and I just want to say that I'm doing a series of seminars. I have a capacity workshop that I do here in May. And I was just thinking that maybe we could bring you back online to work with people who attend the capacity workshop.
Oh, say it again, honey. Wish I could say it again. Repeat. You got stuck. Repeat that.
Yes, I am.
Say that one more time, Susanne.
I'm doing a workshop here in May at my new place at Birka, called the Capacity Workshop for Performing Artists. And if it's possible, I would love to see if I can bring you back for that also. So we can do a more direct online version. I think I might have fallen out. I'm here. I better stop saying anything before.
You're doing a workshop?
I will send out the information about the workshop.
Okay.
And I will talk to you about the possibility of maybe you coming to attend the workshop and work with people.
Woo!
Yeah, that could be great. Either
love
live
it.
or we could take you in online or something like that.
We would have to have fun. Is that okay with you?
Yes, always fun. Everything we do has to be fun and loving.
Good.
So Beth,
All right, my friend.
I just really want to thank you and say I'm so thankful for that. So it's beautiful to see you, and we'll just close up here and say thank you. The train is actually arriving Odense in 2 minutes, so
Perfect timing.
So I'll just say goodbye and mwah, love you.
Thank you, my friend, and love to all of you.
Yeah, love to all of you who has been here and participated also. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.